Hey there guys, this is Reckles with WTBGold, and welcome back to the Transmog Top 10, where we tested every single dungeon in the game to find the best transmog farms out there. Today we're going over the number 2 dungeon, and it is, a lot of you guessed it right in the comments last time,
Start the funeral pyres!
Iron Docks. Now, Iron Docks is known in the gold-making community as being the quintessential fake value dungeon, but it's also known as having the best boss voice line in the game.
Ah, good thinking, sir. That is what I do, Zogash. I think good.
I don't know, that's just my opinion though. If you disagree, you think there's a better one out there, let me know down in the comments. Okay, so I want to spend most of this video deciphering the concept of fake gold, but there are a couple things in this dungeon that we can learn as transmog farmers that carry forward into any farm. And actually, this is a good dungeon to farm even if you just completely ignore transmog altogether. You'll get about 200 gold per lap in just raw cash and boss drops, and then you'll get, if you just vendor all the greens you get, you'll get an additional 200 gold per lap. 4k cash in 10 runs isn't too shabby. I mean, if you run this dungeon 50 times on a new tune, on a new server, you've got 20k starter cash right there. Okay, so I do this dungeon in 2 pulls. First, I grab the 50 enemies on the first platform, and then I make another pile with the 38 enemies in the second big open area. But, I mean, that's it. You run back to the start, or you can just dreamwalk now that after patch 8.1.5, dreamwalk had its cooldown removed, so you can just go out and back in. But Iron Docks is a good example of linked aggro, where when you pull one enemy, the rest of a group also aggroes to you. This is important because it saves time. Once you learn who to pull and who to ignore, you can save global cooldowns. Take these 4 hammer boys. If you just walk over to each one, it takes about 15 seconds to grab them all. These 3 are linked though, whereas this guy isn't. So if you just taunt one of the 3 and then run over the top of the 4th, you can pull the entire pack in about 5 seconds, which saves you 10. Now, 10 seconds isn't a lot, but it adds up because you're doing each dungeon 10 times. And additionally, there's 5 or 6 other places you can do this in this dungeon alone. This pack pulls this Gron pulls this pack. Taunting the right dockhand here pulls all 6 of these guys, but not the Gron. So, like, part of dungeon farming is just knowing what dungeon to go to, what add-ons you need, and, you know, how to navigate the dungeon. But another part that you should start asking for from your guide makers when it comes to efficiency is what is their pull rotation or their taunt route, whatever you want to call it. Second thing this dungeon can teach us, and it's a little bit more obvious, but most people overlook it, is that not all enemies drop loot. Most farmers, when they're running things, just run over all the enemies, gather them up into one big pile, AoE, loot, rinse, repeat. And, you know, that's fine, but here, these 6 dockhands don't drop loot, but all of these guys do. These 10 Deadeye riflemen aren't lootable, but the 5 or 6 guards watching over them are. So I normally test this out. I go through each dungeon, kill and loot one at a time, but essentially in the Halls of Stone top 10 video, we talked about only pulling the densest groups of enemies. Well, here we can add on an addendum to that of only pulling the densest groups of enemies that actually drop loot. I mean, it directly increases your efficiency, and efficiency is just another word for gold per hour. Oh, also, soothe can be used in travel form. That's neat. So, enough learning. Let's talk about fake gold. I'm not going to try to defend it, but hopefully we can all come together and just get a better understanding of why people consider this fake. Because I think it goes deeper than just, it doesn't sell, because everything sells. Here we've got 89 enemies that we kill in 3.5 minutes. And here are the results of 50 runs if you want to double check my work or anything. The average lap here was 25k to 30k, which gives us an average gold per minute of 6,000 to 8,000 gold. So here's the important question. This is the same valuation method that every transmog farmer and guide maker uses for every dungeon. So if it's good enough for Zul'Farrak and Scarlet Monastery and Uldaman, why is it fake here? So here's my thoughts. We use such a broad valuation method in order to capture enough data to let the invisible hand work. If you don't know what the invisible hand is, it's an econ term that more or less says that if something is undervalued, then buyers are going to have a good deal on it. So you're going to have more buyers and they're going to buy up the cheapest thing. And if you buy up the cheapest thing, then the next most expensive is now the cheapest. So the price just rose. Now, alternatively, if something is really super duper expensive, then more sellers are going to enter the market. And when more sellers enter the market, they start undercutting each other. And every time someone undercuts each other, so their stuff is the thing that sells, then the price lowers. So essentially, with a full and free market, you've got this constant fluctuation of the price, as if an invisible hand was moving it up and down to the true economic value. But that doesn't work here. The invisible hand was cut off. So here's what happened. Guide makers tested this and then said it doesn't sell. So the people who would normally enter the market when the price of a sellable item is high don't. So there's no undercutting to bring the price back down. So some of the high value items in this dungeon are the Gold Rock set, the Shardback, and the Stonebreaker sets. The Stonebreaker Breastplate only has 101 items posted up across the entire US. To put that into perspective, the Conqueror's breastplate, which is significantly lower drop rate and sells for 100th of the price, has 480 posted. And then even something like the Jade Breastplate, which is significantly sexier and just impossible to farm up, that has 3 times as many posted up. And then even the Glorious chest piece has over 400. So what's happening, the people who do farm this stuff up, they're transmog farmers. They just post it and they wait. They just keep it at the same price. And there's only 23 servers in the US with more than one seller of the Stonebreaker chest. So there's no competition to bring the price down. And what's worse, and this is just a theory, a game theory, but if any of the sellers in this market are using an imported, downloaded Trade Skill Master profile that uses the local market price, then they're setting the price on their server. They're the only ones posted. So if they're posting at, let's say, 110% DB market, then every time they post, they're raising the price 10% higher and higher and higher. I mean, buyers are supposed to be the one raising the price, not sellers. But this isn't a big deal until 80% of the servers out there are doing this, and then that artificially inflated local price, which is ignorable, is suddenly swallowed up into the regional and global market, and then the invisible hand is broken, and we're left with fake value dungeons. But if that's the case, we can fix it. Here's how. We're going to reset the market, but we're going to do it in reverse. First, go out and farm this dungeon 20 times. It's a good raw gold farm, so you get some gold while you're at it. Second, post all the gear up on the auction house for 100 gold. You might lose some money here, that's fine.
It's all about the greater good.
The greater good.
Here's an auctioning operation you can use. The next day, do another 10 runs and post everything up, but for 200 gold this time.
The greater good.
Keep adding 100 gold to your auctioning operation values each day. When there are enough people in the market, it'll start to take on a life of its own. We'll have the invisible hand back in effect, and we'll finally know the value of this dungeon.
Shut it!
My dream is to go on the Undermine Journal a week from now, look up the Stonebreaker Breastplate, and see 500 across the US. So, I hope you enjoyed what was a fairly awkward guide to make this far into the series. Let me know if you disagree with anything. I also did want to say thank you to my new Patreon supporters this month. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate everyone who supports me on Patreon. We actually had our first Want to Buy Gold company retreat, and it was a lot of fun. I thought it would be a fun idea to have a race from the troll starting area to Onyxia's lair. Thought it would be a good idea. It ended up turning into just who could death run the best. Like Jason, I think, died 36 times. So support me there if you want to. If not, that's fine. Just subscribe, ring the bell, and remember to like this video so it gets out. Those help me a lot. But that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, guys. Good luck and happy gold making.